Ford sells an absolute boatload of Escapes. Between 20 and 30,000 of these compact SUVs leave dealerships every single month. Now, you can't please all the people all of the time, but when it comes to the Escape, Ford needs to appeal to as many people as possible. Thankfully, buyers in this segment aren't after things like cutting-edge materials or newfangled AI assistance. Escape buyers mostly want a car that is comfortable, reliable, and sufficiently loaded with your average new car frippery. In that light, the 2020 Ford Escape is in pretty good standing. Now, the Ford Focus might be gone, but I sure think a lot of it lives on in the 2020 Escape. It's more car-like than ever before, with a sleeker front end and a body that looks and is closer to the ground than ever before. It is just, honestly, in my opinion, a fantastic look, bearing more of a resemblance to a hatchback, say, than the utility-forward Escapes that came before it.
That hatchy shape might not do it every favor in the world, though. While the Escape's cargo area is plenty spacious for families large or small, its 34 to 38 cubic foot capacity, which changes based on seat position, lags behind competitors like the Honda CR-V and Toyota RAV4. Style always comes with a trade-off. The rest of the Escape's interior utilizes some tricks from Doctor Who's TARDIS. Despite being low on cargo capacity, there is a whole lot of meat bag capacity in here. The front row offers just ample amounts of space in addition to cubbies and a sizable glove compartment for storing your stuff. The second row is spacious too, and the seats can slide forward and backward to better accommodate taller passengers.
The majority of Escape buyers will likely end up with the engine that's here in my tester. It is a 1.5-liter 3-cylinder that makes 181 horsepower and 190 pound-feet of torque. That comes mated to an 8-speed automatic transmission, and in this tester's case, all-wheel drive, although front is also available. Now, there are more powerful engines on offer. You can get a 4-cylinder, or perhaps if you're really interested, a hybrid. However, the only trade-off there is you have to spend a bit more scratch. Ford's 3-cylinder engine is more than sufficient when it comes to, say, jumping onto an on-ramp on a highway and getting up to speed, or leaving a parking lot onto a busy street. However, it is a little lazy when you're light on the throttle, so keep that in mind. There's also the fact that the engine is a little shaky at idle, and its unpalatable noise kinda makes me wish there was a digital sound synthesizer in here, something I may have just said out loud for the first time in history. But despite all its faults, it's still an efficient engine, and that's what matters. With all-wheel drive, it earns an EPA estimated 26 mpg city and 31 highway, numbers I had surprisingly no problem achieving before the snow fell. Speaking of snow, the night before we decided to shoot this video, in early November mind you, we got about 6 to 8 inches of snow here in Detroit, and in all honesty, I was a little worried about the Escape. It's on all-season tires, but no problem for me. With all-wheel drive and, some nice smart throttle work, this car has been perfectly unflappable in the snow. The traction control hasn't even come on. Makes me feel nice and comfy despite the roads being, terrible. Now, daily driving comfort is a big part of a buyer's decision-making process, and in that respect, the Escape delights. My SE tester has 17-inch wheels and some suitably meaty all-season tires, which do a great job of soaking up the bumps and humps in Metro Detroit and translating surprisingly little into the cabin. I mean, heck, this thing is also stiffer and lower before, so it's even possible to have a little bit of fun in this thing. Ford's engineers did a pretty stellar job.
Despite my tester's SE trim, which is just one spot above the base S, this Escape is pretty thick with tech. Standard kit includes Sync 3 on an 8-inch touchscreen, which bundles Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, Amazon Alexa and Waze integration, and a Wi-Fi hotspot. Sync 3 is a great system, offering suitable response times and a bright, sensible layout that's very easy to get used to. When it comes time to charge your devices, Ford offers a few ways to get that done. My tester has a USB-C port just under the automatic climate control, but there's also a USB-A port in the armrest, in case you don't have the newest cables. The biggest technological gripe I have is that there's no rear seat USB on offer, but there is at least a Consolation 12-volt port available if you happen to have a charger handy.
Now, if you love safety systems and getting them for free, and who doesn't really, then you will love the Escape. My SE Tester, as well as all other Escapes for that matter, comes standard with a bevy of safety systems that includes automatic emergency braking, blind spot monitoring, lane keep assist, and automatic high beams. For an extra $695, you can tack on adaptive cruise control and embedded navigation as well. And that's kind of a screaming deal.
Now all that cool equipment comes with a decent, albeit not obscene, price tag. While a base Escape starts around $25,000, my SE Tester here comes in at $28,595, including the $1,500 upcharge for all-wheel drive. Throw in the optional safety equipment and destination, and the out-the-door price is a hair over 30 grand, or about $5,000 below the average new car transaction price. The 2020 Ford Escape is about as utilitarian as it can get. Its mix of driving dynamics, interior capacity, and standard tech should make it quite the people pleaser. In a segment rich with choice, Ford's latest offering here is easily one of the strongest contenders.